Hello, I'm Average Joe. Welcome back to the world. Today we are kind of in front of the tree because I have been cutting down wood because last time we kind of ran out. Fortunately, I found in the little chest where everything collects, like 5 or 6, maybe 7 stacks of these logs. Unfortunately, then I used them all. So I'm growing some more trees and I'm cutting them down just to be responsible about it. We still got half of the wizard tower up there. I know I didn't show a lot of that on screen just because I'm trying to keep my videos a bit shorter. But yeah, I've done some work on the villager mansion over there, and we'll get to that as soon as I get done with this tree. This may take a while. Right, now that that's all torn down and the leaves are decaying, I can go and show you what I kind of wanted to do today. You might notice I've made a hole in the side of the barn, and that's just because the sheep were running out of room. They were crowding together and it was hard to get around in there. So beyond this tree, you can see I've made a little bit of progress with the villager mansion. The shape may look familiar, and that's because I am plagiarizing kind of sort of the woodland mansion design. Now, I say plagiarize kind of sort of because I'm trying to do it block for block, but I'm not going to be doing it block for block, and it's going to be in spruce rather than dark oak. So, oh yeah, there's also not going to be any doors. Still, yeah, this is what I'm going with. I have lit the entire thing up because the last time I didn't, there were skeletons and creepers and everything, and it was horrible, and I almost blew this thing up, which would have been bad. We have an upstairs as well that's pretty well lit. I'm going to not be using this one though, because since we have the bottom done and everything up here is lit up and we don't have to worry about mobs spawning up here or being able to get in, I figured it was about time to start moving villagers into the mansion. Granted, nothing is really furnished yet, but I'll get to it. I'll get to it eventually. I hope. I assume so, at least. I mean, I don't want to just leave. I don't want this to end up like the pit. I'll just leave it at that. Alright, so we're going to be moving villagers from in here into the manor first, because, well, these guys I kind of want to use for other things because they don't have anything in their inventory, whereas these guys potentially might. So I've ran a rail right into the manor. They should end up here, and we can push them or nudge them all the way into their room, or we can just leave them in here for now. I'm going to be moving at least 7, mostly because upstairs isn't done yet. So yeah, let me see who we get first, because I've already put a minecart down. I just gotta hit the button. You're a librarian, right? Thorns 3. Aqua Affinity. Yeah, you can go. What? Now why aren't you moving? Okay, back up a little bit so that it can actually move. There we go. First villager. Now we just gotta pick a room for him. Do you not want to go in there? I feel like he's shaking his head no. Well, kinda sucks to be you then, mister. Alright. Room. First floor, first room. Room 1A. We have Mr. Green, and mark that down in, whoops, the villager registry. There. Perfect. So perhaps I should explain the whole name and villager registry thing. Well, in this did I call it a mansion? What was I calling this? In this mansion, I'm going to have a list of all the villagers that live here in each of the rooms. That way, if one of them dies, I know who's missing and what they had and what they traded for. I think that's a pretty good idea. That way we'll be able to replace villagers that we lose on accident in case I'm stupid. Because we all know that's going to happen eventually, right? Yeah. So we need to trade with this guy one more time to figure out what he does after Aqua Affinity. And I believe we have a ton of paper over in the greenhouse. Well, not paper, sugarcane in the greenhouse that we can turn into paper. So we can trade with him and see what he has after Aqua Affinity. Sharpness 2 for 31 emeralds. I don't know if I want to keep that. And again, he also has Thorns 3, but that's for 43 emeralds. And Aqua Affinity, which is helpful, I think. Makes it easier to dig underwater, although we probably won't be doing that much. Yeah, let's just go with Mr. Green. Alright, Mr. Green has 24 paper for 1 emerald. Let's see if I can get this any smaller. There we go. He has Thorns 3 for 43 emeralds, and a book, obviously, but it's kind of implied when it comes, because all of those need a book as well. Aqua Affinity for 16. And Sharpness 2 for 31. Alright, so if any villager does better than Mr. Green, we'll either store him in Mr. Green's room and remove Mr. Green, or we'll set them up in their own room, because Mr. Green might have something valuable in his trading system. So next, all we have to do is just make sure he can't get out. And that's what this wool is for. I pointed out last episode, I believe, that villagers can't leave their rooms, can't get through a 2-block high gap if there's carpet in the middle or on either side of it. So, yeah. I may decide to carpet the villager rooms at some point. I mean, they still won't be able to get out. But for now, I'm just gonna carpet the hallway. And I mean, this looks nice, doesn't it? And now we can let Mr. Green out of his minecart. And then he immediately tries to leave, but cannot. Sorry, Mr. Green, you're stuck in here. Just step back. You know, it's safe in there. It really is. Whatever. There's another child in the system. I don't know who bred him. I don't know how they got there. I'm aware that they can't get out because rails. But if we pick him up with the rails, we can't leave him inside of the villager mansion because he will escape his room, I mean. I'd rather not have to kill him. So I'm not sure if I want to keep doing this right now. Ah, heck, I'll do it anyways. Alright, everyone out of the way. Out, shoo, get. Next up is either going to be the child or purple coat, and I don't want child, so aiming for the purple coat. And we got an armorer. Fantastic. Great, perfect. Stop breathing! At least it's not as bad as the submarine situation. Okay, before I decide to keep you or get rid of you, what are your trades beyond this iron helmet? Iron for an emerald. Or... You know what? We're gonna keep you. We're gonna keep you. I like the idea of buying armor for emeralds rather than just using materials I have. I like that. We're gonna keep you. For now, okay? If someone comes along with, like, enchanted iron armor, you're gone. Maybe. We'll see. Alright. In room 1B, we have the one and only Colonel Mustard. 1B. Colonel Mustard. And he sells armor. More specifically, he sells a hat, chest plate, then a really fancy enchanted chest plate for what I would consider not a lot of emeralds. And again, it doesn't have the best enchantments, but we will see what he has. So we're going to say Iron Hat at 5. He has a iron chest plate at 11. Okay, just gotta make that shorter. Just call it at 11. Then enchanted diamond chest plate at 16. So enchanted diamond chest 16. Just barely makes it. What I didn't consider is that minecarts can't go up carpet. So we have to remove a path of carpet to the room whenever we get a new villager. And seriously, if you guys are just going to stand in the doorway, I'm going to start putting carpet in there as well. Seriously. I'm not joking. Alright, well, I don't see the child in here anywhere, so he either escaped on the rail, but I don't see him anywhere out here, or he grew up, which I think is slightly more likely. So, who do I want to try and direct? Punch 1, Respiration 1, Fortune 2. You are definitely next one going. He's got Fortune 2. He needs to be stored like right away. Or are you a she? We'll find out. Well, I was trying to decide between calling this villager Professor Plum because he's a librarian, or Mrs. White, or Miss White because of the white coat. And then I realized we'll call the cleric Professor Plum because he's got a purple coat. So, we have in room 1C, Miss White. And she sells Punch 1, Punch 1 for 10 emeralds. She sells Respiration 1 for 8 emeralds. And she sells Fortune 2 for 20 emeralds. Now she does have a paper trade of 30, but Mr. Green has a better paper trade. So we're going to not mention that. And there she goes to stand in the doorway, like all of them. That bothers me a little bit. Why won't you stay in the room? I understand it's not like carpeted or anything, but it's better than being crowded with like 100 other villagers. Obviously not 100, at least a dozen though. I mean, come on, look at them all. It's absurd. Anywho, I'm gonna go put this gold chest plate in the blacksmith building, because it's used and we can always use it later. Smelt it down or something. And then we're gonna try and get the cleric out of that mess of villagers. So, in my rush to get Professor Plum in here, I realized we haven't actually traded with him yet. So, yeah. Let's see what else you got, buddy. 38 rotten flesh for 1 emerald. 9 gold for 1 emerald. 1 emerald for 3 redstone dust. I am perfectly okay with that. And 1 emerald for 1 lapis. Not the best trade in the world, but I do like the redstone dust there. We also have 7 emeralds for 1 ender pearl. That's awesome. 1 emerald for 1 glowstone. That is also awesome. I need to trade a little bit more paper so that I can keep trading with the professor. And I'm gonna go for the glowstone. So beyond the glowstone, we have 11 emeralds for 1 bottle of enchanting, and I think the last one a cleric has is always a name tag. Or is that the librarian? I don't remember. But hey, I think this is some pretty good trading, especially since we can get so much redstone off of the professor. I like redstone. So we'll just light this up a little bit more for you and make sure that nothing gets in here. At least it shouldn't. Theoretically, get in here. A little paranoid about this because while the villagers can't walk through the doors, mobs can. Which means these guys would essentially be, you know, dead. If any mob got into the mansion at all. So we need to make sure that is 100% unspawnable. There's nothing can get in, nothing can get out. Basically it needs to be a really nice looking prison. And I think we are getting there. I'm going to leave Professor Plum in the minecart. Oh, nah, he can come out. And he goes and sits in the corner. There you go. That's the behavior I've come to hate from all of you. But yes, that is 4 villagers in the mansion, in the villager mansion. We can get 3 more before we need to finish the next floor. And then that's 7 more until we finish the next floor. And then it's 7 until we either just stop or build another floor. In all honesty, we'd probably just build another floor. I'm greedy like that. But we do have villagers out of the system. That's good. It'd be nice if we could get these guys breeding again. I don't see that happening until we get all of these guys away from here and into there. There's still some librarians in there. I think there's some meat people. There's some farmers, which are important because then we can trade our crops for emeralds. But yeah, I think that is all the time I have for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. take care and have a good one. I hope I get a villager that gives, like, iron pants. Because I'm starting to look like a patchwork quilt with all this mismatch armor.